In that video, I looked out of control, behaving wildly, begging K to take me while K was seen pushing me off. Bussy, that video must have been doctored and edited. Why was I being recorded in the first place? Who set that up? Hello, welcome to Life Stories with Bussy, where truth speaks and healing begins. Yeah, I know. Where were you last month? Yes, I know. I turned 50 last month and I decided to, take time out, do a lot of stuff, and internalize what being 50 is all about. I want to say thank you very much to everybody who sent their wishes. I want to thank you for your gifts, for your prayers. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I was bombarded. I was bombarded, and I just want to appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. This is Life Stories with Bussy, and if this is your first time, you're welcome. Here, we try not to judge. We really try not to. We listen, we sit with the raw, unfiltered parts of life, because every story, no matter how messy, carries a lesson, a warning, or a spark of hope for someone else. Today's story is about a woman who calls herself Mide. Mide is 28 years old and she's a nurse. What began as a professional care for a bedridden woman spiraled into love, lies, betrayals, and a life-changing discovery. As you listen, I want you to ask yourself the question, what would I have done if I were in Mide's shoes? Come along with me as we dive into today's story. My name is Mide. I'm 28 years old and I work as a nurse. Through my agency, I was assigned to care for a bedridden woman. Out of respect, I won't name her illness. She has 3 children. When I started, only a daughter was around. Her 2 brothers were abroad. From day one, the daughter didn't like me. She faulted everything I did and even asked my agency to replace me. They said they had no other ladies available at the time, so I stayed. She was openly hostile. Her father, let's call him Mr. Fred, was always checking on his wife, asking about her welfare. But the truth was, medically, nothing more could be done, only management. I did my job with full dedication until the daughter traveled for a master's program. One night, Mr. Fred came home drunk. I helped him get into bed. Next morning, he thanked me and called me compassionate. That small moment changed something. After that day, he asked about my dreams and my future, and he opened up about his own life. He said his marriage had been a sham, that his wife wasn't a good partner, that he had sought comfort outside the marriage before. He said when he finally decided to leave, she fell ill and he stayed because of the children. Somewhere in the talking and listening, the line blurred. I fell for him. He was 59 but young at heart, and he made me feel seen. He wanted us to go public, but I refused. I said people wouldn't understand, especially while I was still caring for his wife. But Bussy, please believe me, I never neglected her at any time. Doctors came in to check her. My supervisors can attest I did my job well. Then it happened. I don't know how it slipped from Mr. Fred, but soon after, his daughter called me, cursing and insulting me. She accused me of breaching professional conduct, seducing her father, and sleeping with him in the same house where her mother lay sick. She said I was a threat to her mother's life and that if anything happened, she would hold me responsible. She called my agency again to replace me, but they still had no one available, and Mr. Fred told them to ignore our request, insisting it was all lies. I started the job in June last year. By late June this year, after a full year, one of the sons came home. Let's call him K. K was a spitting image of his father. Same height, same look. I braced for hostility, but it was warm and sweet, like his dad. He wanted to know about me, thank me for how I handled his mother. Sometimes he cooked and even helped serve my food. All three of us went out together twice. It didn't show that he was interested in me, it just made me feel comfortable and appreciated. Then one day, Mr. Fred traveled, leaving Kay and me at home. The last thing I remember that night was Kay offering me a drink. The next morning, I woke up in Kay's room. I didn't know what had happened. I kept asking. He said I fainted, something like that. Inside, I suspected something else. I had faint flashes, almost like I saw Mr. Fred come into my room and hold me, but I couldn't piece it together. Some days later, Kay traveled. The week after, Mr. Fred returned with a video. In that video, I looked out of control, behaving wildly, begging Kay to take me while Kay was seen pushing me off. Bussy, that video must have been doctored and edited. Why was I being recorded in the first place? Who set that up? Mr. Fred didn't listen. He accused me of being promiscuous, of trying to bring a curse into their family by sleeping with father and son. He sacked me immediately. My agency also let me go, calling it a breach of professional conduct. And with the daughter's earlier report, they didn't hesitate. I left in shame. Now, I discovered I'm pregnant. 3 months gone. I tried to reach Mr. Fred. He said he's not responsible and that he doesn't know how many men I've been with. I don't know what to do. My friends say I should call out father and son on social media. Is that the best way to go? Mide, thank you for the courage in sharing this story. I know that it wasn't easy. Now let me be honest with you. As a nurse, you crossed a line. Yeah. Getting involved with Mr. Fred while taking care of his wife was a breach of professional ethics. You may have felt love, you may have felt sin, but the moment you allow that relationship to grow, your role as a caregiver became compromised. Now, here's the hard truth. Even though you claim that you did your job professionally, deep inside of you, that affair would have planted thoughts you may not have wanted to admit, that if his wife was gone, the two of you could finally be free to love each other openly. You can't tell me that that thought did not cross your mind. Because if the man wanted to take it to the next level, like he said, and you told him not to tell anybody, deep inside your heart, somewhere, you would have it in your heart that you might not have acted on it. Like you might not have acted on it to do any harm or anything, but somewhere in your heart, you cannot tell me that it did not cross your heart or it did not cross your thought that if this woman dies or she goes, you guys will be free to love each other openly. And that kind of thought, whether you acted on it or not, left that woman in a vulnerable position. She was depending on your care, but your heart was entangled with her husband. And that is why this cannot be justified. It cannot be justified that you were supposed to be taking care of a woman in a house and you were making out with her husband on a matrimonial bed. No matter what that husband told you, whether their marriage was in pieces, carcass, or whatever, you cannot justify it. This cannot be justified. But at the same time, what they did to you was cruel, because drugging you, which is what I feel that you're implying that the guy did, K did, and recording you without your consent and humiliating you with that kind of video is an abuse. It was wrong, because you don't even know where that video or whose hand that video is in. I bet that all of them have copies, and I don't know. Now that they are 3 months pregnant, whether Mr. Fred accepts responsibility or not, your child is innocent. Your duty now is to protect your health and the baby's future. When the time is right, a DNA test can speak louder than social media. Should you drag them online? Calling them out on social media won't help you. It will only deepen the shame and give them more reason to twist the story against you. Remember that they have that video against you. Imagine them throwing that to bloggers. So even when you come with your own story, it does not tally. You don't want to fight like that. You don't want to do that. I would rather say that you should focus on rebuilding quietly and let this chapter be your teacher. You need to focus on rebuilding yourself, finding a job, because you have a long way to go. I don't know what this would have done to your referrals or stuff like that, but you need to find a job because you have a long way to go. A child is coming and that child has to be taken care of. I wish you all the best, Mide. I wish you all the best. I pray that you find, clarity and you'll be able to work this path. You need all the strength and all the support that you can get in this period. That said, stories like this remind us that love can blind, choices have consequences, and every action leaves someone vulnerable. Guys, you've heard Mide's story. So what do you think that Mide should do? Do you think that she should stay silent and rebuild quietly, or do you think that she should stand up and fight back in her own way? Drop your thoughts in the comments. You've been watching Life Stories with Bussy. My name is Adebusola Daily David. See you in the next story. Bye.